gonna start with our bizarre spice mix. And with the black peppercorns, coriander seeds, cassia bark, whole cloves, cumin seeds, and with the green cardamom, nutmeg for some great aroma, and we got some fennel seeds, and finally some red chili. And now we're gonna toast our spices to maximize their flavor and release their beautiful aroma. Toasting the spices would also help in blending, so make sure you do it. And I'll transfer the spices into a blender. And with the turmeric and some garlic. Now cover and blend this until nice and smooth. Alright, let's have a look. Now remove all the spice mix and with your favorite herbs, the amazing saffron. Finally a good touch of salt. Now give that a really good mix and set aside. Our amazing bizarre spice mix. Done. Now for the lamb I'm using leg of lamb. You could use lamb shoulder or any other cut of your choice. First of all you want to lightly score this with the help of your knife so we can penetrate those spices. The best part of this lamb dish is that it can be eaten on special occasions. And I add a good touch of oil on there. With the help of your hands, massage that. And now in with your spice mix. Make sure to cover all sides. This lamb is going to be so delicious and so tender. And now this is the perfect time to let rest for at least a few hours or overnight for more flavor. Grab yourself a baking paper, place thick slices of the onions on there. Now we're going to place our lamb onto there just to make sure it won't get over brown from underneath. Some of the spice mix. Touch of the salt. And now our lamb goes on the top. Make sure to cover it properly. Bismillah. Finally you want to cover it in a foil paper so it's nice and tight. Now this goes in a preheated oven at 150 Celsius. Make sure oven is preheated like I said. For the rice, soak them in water for at least half an hour and then wash and drain the excess water. For our rice, turn up the heat around medium-high with a good touch of oil. And when the oil is nice and hot in with your onions, mix and cook this until nice and golden brown. You can cover to soften them up a bit. And now with your garlic, mix and cook the rawness of the garlic. And now with our spice mix, some of these whole spices. Cook the rawness of those spices as well. You can always deglaze with a touch of water. With your chilies, good touch of salt. With your stock. I like a bit of the chickpea, so I'm just gonna throw that in. Now mix, cover, and bring this to simmer. And now when it starts to simmer, and with your soaked rice, give that a mix, and let this cook until there is some water left. These rice are gonna be amazing. So when there's some water left, place a clean kitchen cloth on the top, place your lid and let this steam up for around 13 to 15 minutes on low heat. Alright guys, let's check our rice. Bismillah. The rice looks delicious. Turn off the heat. Just give it a mix. Get rid of this. Come on. You can finish this off with a bit of the lemon. Perfect. Just adds a bit of the freshness, you know. I'm feeling a bit hungry. I'm just gonna have a little taste. Bismillah. It's so delicious. For our sauce with the onion, here with the fresh tomatoes, here with the roasted pepper, 1 green chili, you can add more if you like, fresh coriander, you can use parsley, zest of fresh lime, here with some of this lime juice, chipotle paste to add some of the smoky flavor, and a good touch of salt, touch of water, and now cover and blend this until nice and smooth. Alright, let's check our sauce. It smells amazing. Have a little taste. It's so refreshing. Alright guys, our lamb is done. Let it rest for around 15 minutes before you open it. And the moment of truth. Bismillah. Look at that amazing lamb. Baste it with some of those juices. Alright guys, let's plate this up in with your rice. Bismillah. And with our lamb, and with some of these onions, and with our sauce. Amazing. Alright, first of all, we're gonna start with our spice mix for the chicken. It was some of this mixed spice: paprika, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, sumac for some tanginess, some of this freshly grounded black pepper, sea salt, and finally some of this oregano. Finish this with a good touch of oil and a really good mix to that. Combine all those ingredients. And this is what you're left with. Beautiful. Now with the chicken. I'm using a chicken breast. If it's too large, slice into two. A really good mix to that. Alright, that looks amazing. Leave it to marinate for a few hours. The longer you marinate, the better it will become. I'm also going to serve our chicken with a bit of the onions and the peppers. So you want to roughly slice some of the onions and the peppers. Now to cook the chicken, turn up the heat around medium-high with a good touch of oil. Now when the pan is nice and hot in with your chicken, always away from you. Now if you want, you can place a heavy object on the top just so we can get a nice sear on the chicken. Now you want to let this cook for around 5 to 6 minutes. Alright, let's check this. Carefully flip this. Look at that beautiful sear. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now let this cook for another 4 to 5 minutes until the internal temperature reaches 75 Celsius. Alright, we have the perfect temperature. Now you want to turn the heat to low. And we're just gonna chop off this chicken. Here are some of these onions, some of the peppers, touch of the salt on there. And now you want to chop this off and let this cook for another few minutes. Alright guys, now in that I'm just gonna add some cheese. You want to mix up that cheese and let it melt slightly. Now add some cheese slices on the top. Cover and let this melt completely. Now just turn up the heat once nice and melted. And now you want to grab some of the lettuce, some of this coleslaw, grab your toasted bread, add some of the sauce onto there. Add some of the lettuce if you like. Some of this coleslaw. And our chicken goes on the top. You can also add some gherkins. For our Doritos, turn up the heat around medium-high with a good touch of oil. Or when the oil is nice and hot, and with your chicken always away from you. Now place a paper on the top and put this heavy object on the top. Just so we can get a nice sear on there. Alright, let's have a look. Carefully remove this. Remove the covering. And look at the beautiful sear. Looks amazing. Now let the chicken cook for another 5 to 6 minutes until the internal temperature reaches 75 Celsius. Alright, once the chicken has been rested for at least 5 minutes, let's slice it up. The chicken smells amazing. It's gonna be so delicious. Cooked to perfection, nice and juicy. Now just chop it off our Doritos. A fresh pico de gallo made with onions, tomatoes, jalapenos, fresh coriander, a bit of the salt and the fresh lime. Now in with your Doritos. Have a beautiful chicken on there. Don't be shy. Some of this sauce. A generous amount of cheese on there. You want to melt that cheese. Now add some of this pico de gallo just on the top. Some of the jalapenos if you like. Who doesn't like jalapenos? Come on. Some more of this sauce on the top. beautiful. Trust me, these are one of the best loaded Doritos that you're gonna try. I really hope you're gonna enjoy it. Alright guys, let's plate this up. Here I've got my Doritos and chicken, so just gonna add some more sauce. This is the only smash burger that you need to try. We're gonna take smash burgers to the next level. And with the mince, 50% beef, 40% lamb, and 15% fat. Fat is gonna add a lot of flavor. It's gonna keep our burgers nice and juicy. Now in with the minced onions. Make sure to squeeze out all the water before adding it in. Now normally you would caramelize the onions on the side, but this way you can also get a maximum flavor. Here with some of this freshly minced garlic. Here I'm using one fresh green chili. You can get rid of the seeds if you don't like more heat. Here with the red chili, cumin, paprika. Good touch of the freshly ground pink and black pepper. Now finish this off with a good touch of the sea salt. We are just getting started. Perfect. Make sure to wash your hands and give this a really good mix. You want to mix until the mixture comes together and becomes nice and sticky. Add in some of this fresh thyme and just mix this slightly. Or we can see the mixture is nice and sticky. Now let this rest in the fridge for an hour. Or once the mixture is rested, you want to start making quarter pounder meatballs. Quarter pounder is roughly around 113 grams. So a kilo of mince should give you around 10 smash burgers. The shapes don't have to be perfect, and once done, let them come to room temperature. For the sauce, in with the mayonnaise, homemade barbecue sauce, hot sauce. For some more flavor, I'm using pickle juice. Here with the roughly sliced gherkins, some of these jalapenos, zest of some fresh lemon, finally some lemon juice. Season with a touch of salt and some freshly ground black pepper. Now give this a really good mix and bring everything together. Have a beautiful burger sauce done. I will let it taste perfect. Alright, now to cook our smash burgers, turn up the heat to around medium high. With a light touch of oil. When the pan is nice and hot, add in your meatballs. And just smash that. I'm gonna cook the third one in the other pan. Bismillah. You want to let this cook for around 2 minutes. Alright, so it's been around 2 minutes. We're just gonna flip this. You might have to scrape this off. Look at that beautiful sear, amazing. Now add in your cheese. And now cover and let this cook for around 30 seconds. Let's check this. Bismillah. Alright, the cheese is beautifully melted. Just turn off the heat now. Alright, let's assemble our patties. Looks beautiful. For our fries, I'm using a turkey or beef bacon. Cut them into nice and thick slices, but not too thick. Here with a touch of the oil. Here with your bacon. We're gonna let this cook until the fat is completely rendered and it's nice and crispy. Alright, now just turn off the heat. Now add your crispy fries into our bowl. And with the rendered bacon fat, season this generously. Give that a mix. Add in the crispy bacon. Add your fries here. If you want, you could add some melted cheese on there. Some of this garlic mayonnaise. Hot sauce, some more bacon, spring onions if you like. Our amazing crispy bacon fries done. Trust me, they look amazing. Alright, let's plate this up, grab some of the lettuce and tomatoes, grab our sauce, place your toasted bun. First of all, let's add our beef sauce. Amazing, just have a look at that. Add our lettuce, add our triple smash burger just on the top. That looks amazing. Some of this pickle if you like, also a slice of tomato if you like. Finally your top of the bun. Alright guys, let's plate this up. I'm gonna show you how to make one of the best chicken parmesan ever. Alright, first of all, we're gonna start by prepping our chicken. Here I've got chicken breast. We're gonna butterfly the chicken. You wanna place your knife in the middle and start slicing it, but not all the way through. Just where you feel the border of the chicken, you should stop just right there. And let the knife do the work nice and easy. And now open up your chicken breast, and this is what you're left with. Beautiful. Now you want to place this paper on the top and you want to pound the chicken from its thickest part to even out the shape. This will ensure our chicken cooks properly and evenly. Season this with a touch of salt and pepper from both sides. I'm going to leave this to rest for at least half an hour. For marinara sauce, we're going to start by finely chopping our onions so they will melt away in our sauce. You also want to thinly slice some of this fresh basil. It's going to add a lot of aroma. And we're also going to use some of the fresh garlic. Alright, let's cook our marinara sauce. Turn up the heat around medium-high. With a good touch of olive oil. And with the beef pancetta, bacon, or you could use salami. You want to let this cook until it's nice and golden brown and a bit crispy. It's going to add a lot of flavor to our sauce. Alright, now you want to remove this onto your plate. Make sure to drain off the excess oil. Now once cooked, you want to finely chop it, and later we're going to combine it with our sauce. When the oil is nice and hot, and with your onions. We're gonna let the onions cook until they're translucent and has a light brown color on them. You don't want to burn them, just cook them nice and slowly and deglaze if required. And now with your garlic, slice. And some of these red chili flakes to add a bit of kick and to add some more flavor. A pinch of salt in there. I'm gonna deglaze with a touch of water. And you want to cook the rawness of that garlic. Should take you another 30 to 40 seconds. Perfect time to add our tomato puree. Now again, you want to cook the rawness of that paste. Give that a mix. It smells amazing. You know, a bit of this mixture on a bread. Oh my god. Just a light touch of water again. Best time to throw in our chopped beef. And with our crushed Parmesan tomatoes. Give that a mix. You want to season with a good touch of salt, freshly ground black pepper, don't be shy, some of this dried oregano, fresh basil, and you want to let this cook for around 15 to 20 minutes to get rid of some of the acidity. I'm just going to throw a light touch of water in there. The sauce is so nice and rich, it looks delicious. Make sure to stir the sauce now and then, and it's best to leave it partially covered. Now the marinara sauce is normally a bit chunkier, so you want to leave this consistency. Our sauce is nearly done. Now we're going to finish it with knobs of butter, and finally some of this honey or sugar to balance the acidity, and finish it with some fresh basil. Our amazing marinara sauce done. It looks so delicious. I'm just gonna have a little taste. Wow. Now to bread our chicken in with the flour, freshly ground black pepper, and with the salt, cayenne pepper for some heat. Good mix to that and set aside. In another bowl you want to crack in 4 eggs, a light splash of water and a pinch of salt. Break the egg yolks and give that a mix. And set aside for now. And finally in another bowl you want to add in your panko breadcrumbs. You want to lightly season with salt, pepper, smoked paprika, a light pinch of cardamom. And with a crushed dried thyme for a very nice aroma. And finally some grated parmesan, it's got a lot of flavor. A really good mix to that and set aside. Now before we start coating our chicken, turn up the heat to around medium. And with the oil, and bring the oil temperature to around 170 Celsius. First of all, the chicken goes into the seasoned flour. And you want to coat this properly. Make sure to cover all sides. Don't leave any wet spots hanging behind. And now just shake off the excess. And this goes into your egg mixture. Make sure to submerge that in. Slowly grab that. Let the excess drip. And this goes into your breadcrumbs. Make sure to cover it properly and press it down. And this is what you're left with. This goes into the hot oil, always away from you. You want to shallow fry this for 5 to 6 minutes until nice and golden brown. The internal temperature should reach 75 Celsius, which is roughly around 165 Fahrenheit. And finally make sure to turn halfway. Look at that beautiful crust. Amazing. Keep basting the chicken with some of this oil. Alright, so our chicken is done. Let's remove this. It looks amazing. Make sure to drain off the excess oil and remove it on a rack. Alhamdulillah, these look great. Pinch of salt on there and some of this dried oregano. Our amazing chicken done. Alright, let's prep our chicken parmesan. Grab your marinara sauce, mozzarella and parmesan cheese. Grab your oven tray, place your chicken. Add a generous amount of marinara sauce. And spread that around. The sauce looks so beautiful. Some of the parmesan cheese. And a good amount of mozzarella cheese on there. And some more of the parmesan. And you want to let this broil in the oven until the cheese is melted. And now for the spaghetti in boiling water, add a good touch of salt. The water needs to be slightly salty. Here with your spaghetti. You want to let the spaghetti cook until it's al dente, meaning it still has a bite to it or a bit of resistance. Add a touch of oil in this pan. And with the garlic, red chili flakes, ground black pepper. You want to lightly toast that to release all the beautiful aroma. And with some of the pasta water, throw in your spaghetti. Here with fresh basil, some of this fresh parsley, a light touch of salt. Give this a real good mix. Here with some of this marinara sauce, just a little bit. We just want to glaze it, and some of this parmesan cheese. Add a touch of pasta water if required again. Give that a mix. And that's the sound you want to hear. Our delicious spaghetti done. Our chicken parmesan done. It looks so beautiful.
Perfect.
This is one of the best steak and noodles that you're gonna try. We're gonna start with our steak. I'm using a sirloin. You could use ribeye, tenderloin, any steak of your choice. Get a good quality steak and you will be jumping out of the bed. Season with a good touch of sea salt. And a good touch of the freshly ground black pepper. We're gonna keep it very simple. Steak's gonna have a lot of flavor. Make sure to season it from both sides. Pick up the steak and mop all the seasoning so the edges are covered as well. Alright, that is beautifully seasoned. Let's cook this.
Perfect.
Alright, to cook the steak, first of all use a good quality pan. Turn up the heater on high. When the pan is nice and hot, touch of oil. Now with your steak, first of all we're going to render the fat, which you can see on the sirloin steak. You want to render it until it's nice and golden brown. Alright, now turn the steak. Now let this cook for around 2 minutes. Alright, now carefully turn the steak. Look at that beautiful sear. Amazing. Throw in the butter. Some of this smashed garlic. Fresh thyme. You want to let this cook until the internal temperature hits 52 Celsius. Mix up the butter and the garlic and the thyme. And baste it with butter for the remaining time. Like I said, make sure the internal temperature hits 52 Celsius and then we're going to remove this. Alright, now turn off the heat and remove the steak. Leftover garlic.
You win.
Now cover and let this rest for around 7 to 8 minutes so it stays nice and juicy. For the noodles, we're going to start with the cooking sauce. Here with a fresh ginger paste. Some of this grated garlic. For some heat, I'm using chili flakes. Lime juice has a bit of freshness. Here with the tomato paste. For the umami flavor, we're using soy sauce. For some acidity, we're using vinegar. Could use any. Balance the flavors with some sugar. Good touch of salt. Freshly ground black pepper. Be generous with the pepper, it's gonna add a lot of flavor. Here with the corn flour, which will help thicken our sauce. And finally some water to adjust the consistency. Give this a really good mix and set aside for later use. Now for the vegetables, you can use a mix of different ones. I will be using onions, peppers, scallions. I'm gonna flavor with some garlic and chilies. It's gonna be amazing. First of all, we're going to boil the udon noodles in hot water just to open up them a bit. And once done, then drain it with cold water so they can stop cooking. I'm using our udon noodles, but you could use any. And let's cook our stir fry. Turn up the heat around medium high with a good touch of fire. And with your garlic, red chilies, the spring onions. Give that a really good mix and flavor the oil. You want to cook this until nice and light brown. It smells wonderful, trust me. One of the best stir fry udon noodles that you're gonna try. And with the rest of the vegetables, give that a really good mix. I'm gonna season with a touch of salt. I like the vegetables nice and crunchy, so I don't want to cook them too much. And with your udon noodles, our amazing sauce. We're gonna nicely glaze this. I like a bit of the chili sauce. Touch of the pepper in there. Alright, now slowly mix this, and you want to combine everything. Finish out with some fresh scallions. Again, just give that a mix. Just turn off the heat at this point. Looks amazing, smells amazing. Trust me, you're really gonna enjoy this. I like a touch of these sesame seeds on there. Of amazing stir-fried udon noodles. Done. Time to check our steak. Let's get our steak. Bismillah. Nice and thick slices. That looks amazing. Alright guys, let's plate this up here with your steak. And our amazing udon noodles.
Perfect.
Alright guys, I'm gonna try this. You know what? Let's try our steak first. Perfectly done. I like it medium, sometimes medium rare. Bismillah, let's try this. The steak is so nice and juicy, amazing. Alright, let's try our noodles. They look amazing, just have a look at that. Bismillah. Wow, so delicious. They do have a bit of heat. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, make sure like. Inshallah, see you next time. Until then, salam. Make for your mom, make for your dad, make for your family. Enjoy.
Perfect.